Hey, it's Monday night, 7 p.m. You know what that means? It's time for Pickens Power Half-Hour Dragon Talk. We're here at Schottenkirk Fort. I am your host, BKP, here with my co-host, RJ Casey. We want to thank Johnny's New York Style Pizza for providing a meal for the players and the coach tonight. Our guest tonight is head coach, Dragons head coach Chris Parker, offensive line coach Ty Maxwell. Our guest is Zane Burt, O-lineman, offensive lineman, Andrew Hasbrook, offensive lineman, and Josh Holbrook, offensive lineman. We're talking Quad A Region 6 football. If I can get past this Shelby GT 350. If I turn around and I can't find you and you're in that driver's seat, RJ, help me keep an eye on him, Coach. Will you?
I got RJ.
You got him covered? You got him covered. No pun intended. Football show here tonight. Dragons, we're talking Quad A Region 6. Dragons find themselves 2-3 on the season, but they have a region play opening win against Gilmer this past week, 32-7. Before we get into that, let's go over Quad A Region 6 real quick. Pickens is sitting 1-0. Heritage is 2-0. Ridgeland is 1-0. Northwest Whitfield is 1-1. Southeast Whitfield is 1-1. Lafayette is 0-2, and Gilmer is 0-2 in the region. This past week's games, Pickens 32-7 over Gilmer, like we said. Heritage 47 over Southeast Whitfield County, 47-10, and that's who the Dragons will be facing Friday night. We'll talk to Coach about that. At Northwest Whitfield, 30-7 over Lafayette. Again, Friday night's games, Pickens against Southeast Whitfield. Northwest Whitfield will be with Heritage, and Ridgeland will be playing Lafayette. Coach, Coach Parker, thanks for coming down, having all the guys with us tonight. An offensive line show. That's what we have, an offensive line show here. Talking to the big guys on the front line, moving them out of the way, making the plays. Congratulations on opening the region with a 32-7. Talk a little bit about getting that one behind you, playing Gilmer, and you were 7-7 at the half going into the locker room.
Yeah, it was. Gilmer played hard and gave us a tough game, like we kind of knew they would. We talked to the guys all week about running a race, and if you're running a mile, you got to run all 4 laps about the same speed if you want to win. The guys that come out real fast usually fade, and the guys who wait to the very end to play, don't win either. It's the guy that runs the same lap, all 4 laps, that wins. And we felt like we were going to have to do that to win. We kind of knew it would be a tough game. We knew being a rivalry, and that Gilmer would be a big win if they could beat us. So I thought Coach Wingard, all the Gilmer guys did a great job, playing hard early and making it hard on us. And then we stopped ourselves a little bit too, and they got it. We misaligned a couple times. They found something on their offense, scored to get ahead, and then we came back, tied it. And I thought in the second half we were able to clean up a couple things, get in the end zone more. But the game went about how we expected it was going to go. To be honest, I think other people might expect it differently, but I expected they'd play hard and have a good plan for us, and they did. And we just found a way to make a few more plays and win the game.
Coach Maxwell, let me ask you, earlier, this first time you've been on the show, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here with us. The shows up to this first region game, Coach and I have been talking, coming off 3 losses, but pre-region games, he talked about scheduling those with competitive teams, not just scheduling somewhere to take a win, competitive teams. Did you see that pay off, obviously, in the win, but did you see what you wanted Friday night as preparing for region play with your offensive line?
I think definitely the non-region schedule helped us. We played 4 teams, one of them a 6A team, one of them a 7A team, and then 2 playoff teams from last year. And to me, that was much more beneficial than just going up and playing teams that we knew we could beat and beat by a lot. I felt like we were more prepared going into Friday night. I felt like we'd seen a lot more. We'd seen better coaching. So, therefore, the kids we had played had better techniques, and we were used to what we were seeing Friday.
Well, I think it's an upside to see well-coached teams and teams that execute and put some speed on you early on. And, I mean, obviously, you want to be pre-region. Yeah, you'd like to have the wins on there. Being 2-3 is one thing, but you want to know in the region. So, Coach, answer that same question as far as preparing for region, because you guys have something, I talked to you about it this morning on our show. You have, to me, you have 6 straight games. I mean, there is no off week now, and you have to be prepared to go 6 in a row.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but for us it was more about, what has the program done? We got here 5 years ago, and, we're just trying to win football games, get some confidence, get a little better, maybe sneak into playoffs, And then we did. We played in some 10th game that mattered. It was a big deal for us. Then last couple of years we've had really good records, and we struggle a little bit in the playoffs. And so, we start really thinking, how can we get in the playoffs and have a better chance? Let's throw out our record. To me, we're just 1-0. I mean, I don't know we're 2-3, and people can judge us for that all year. But all I care about is being 1-0. And next week we'll either be 1-1 or 2-0. And
Right.
all that matters is that. All that other stuff really means nothing. You're trying to make the playoffs and win playoff games. All the non-region schedule does is give you a sense of either false confidence or real confidence, for whatever your record actually is. So 2 or 3 years ago, it was really important for these guys, and they were 9th graders or so. It was important for our team to have a certain amount of wins. So we could look out in the end of the year and say we were 7-3 or we were 6-4. It didn't matter who we played or what we were doing. And now we're really just saying, let's focus all of our energy on this 6-game stretch. And so, 1 game in, we made a lot of mistakes Friday. So I don't want it to act like we played this tough schedule and then we came out and just dominated Friday. That's not the case. Gilmer actually did a great job and made it tough on us. But I think our players have been in those situations so many times that there was no quit in our guys. There was no panic. We was talking about before the show about halftime, and people asked me wouldn't coach, wouldn't want to been in there with you at halftime, coach, or something. I don't think I hardly said anything to them. I just told them to get some water. We were just going to play all 4 quarters hard, and that's what we did. So there was no magic halftime speech. We just came out and kept playing, and we have been in so many tough, tight games that wasn't a shock to us, that we were going to have to play 4 quarters. So that was very helpful to answer your question, that we had been in those situations. But moving forward, that's not going to get us 1 point or 1 first down Friday. We're going to start over. And Southeast got a good team. They're well coached. They play hard. And, just to start all over again, try to be 1-0 this week.
Let me get a couple stats in here real quick, and let's talk to our offensive lineman we have with us here. Rushing, Chris Pittman, 152 yards, 19 rushes, averaging 8. Actually, the rushing, and I know, Coach, we talked about this before, you can have a 20-yard run and then a 2-yard run, but I just have always seen when a team is putting 308 yards on the ground and you're averaging 5.8, that means you're turning over some first downs, you're moving the ball down the field. So they averaged 5.8 yards a carry the other night. The Dragons did. Again, Chris Pittman, 152 yards. Now, they also had 181 yards.
Yeah, let's stop this now. You used to give me a hard time about no passing yards. We had 181 yards passing. That's a lot for us.
You've been waiting on that.
I've been waiting on that.
You've been waiting all day for me to say you aired it out.
We completed about that 5th
Coach
pass in a
aired it
row.
out a little. All right,
I got
Coach.
distracted because I was looking forward to the show when I could say, look, we completed 5 passes.
We got it, Coach. We got it. You aired it out a little bit. He's been waiting on that.
For a couple of years.
Yeah, 100. We can go back. I like that. I had that coming. 181 yards in the air. Again, averaging 16.5 on the pass. The long of the night was a 40-yard to Zach Gross. But guys, offensive linemen, when you guys are right at 500 yards on total yards, talk about your offensive line and the work you put into this getting up to now, and how you guys think you're coming together to go further in the region play, each one of you.
Well, I think we practice harder than anybody on the field. Some of the stuff that we do is it's head banging, going at it all the time, as fast as we can. And that's, that'll definitely help us get into region play later on in the year. More when we get late into the season, we'll have more reps than everybody else, more practice time, more technique-wise, what we're doing.
Let's hear from you on the offensive line before we go to break.
And like he said, we've been getting a lot more reps than everyone else, and we go at it faster than everyone else. But like he said, we're getting a lot of reps, and we're getting much better than we have been in last year. We're just making progress every week.
Well, folks, this offensive line here, and we want to thank Coach and this offensive line this past week. 308 on the ground, 181 in the air. That's pretty good, and that's how you win ball games when you come close to 500 yards total.
181 in the air, too.
181 in the air. You can tell me that 4 more times before we leave tonight. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk. I'm here with my co-host, RJ Casey. We're going to turn RJ loose in the next segment, Coach. You better get ready. He's got some questions. Take us to break.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited, now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell-down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back Monday night here at Schottenkirk Ford, and you're watching FYNTV.com, and you're watching Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk. We want to thank Johnny's New York Style Pizza. Also, we're here with head coach Chris Parker and offensive line coach Ty Maxwell. Zane Burtz, did I get that right, RJ? Yep. Okay. Another offensive lineman has joined us for this segment. We're talking Quad A Region 6. The Dragons find themselves 2-3, but what's really important, they find themselves 1-0 in region play as they opened up the region with a win over Gilmer 32-7. Coach, let me ask you this question. It's something I was talking to somebody, actually one of your fans, so I didn't bring this from out of town, okay? But you watch Coach here. He thinks I always bring a question from out of town. But I will say this: there's the games that have been played, even this past week, putting a full game together. I mean, you're going up against now Gilmer. We know some of the consistency struggles putting their team together, and we've talked about that. And they're still finding their way. But you're getting ready to go up to teams that are not trying to find their way, that are balanced playing football. Southeast Whitfield, 1-1, but it is the kind of team where you're going to have to play 4 quarters.
Oh yeah. We expect it to be a tough game. They played us tough the last few years. We've been lucky enough to come on top, but every game's different and every team's different. I think that the mistake a lot of people make now is they look and say so and so beat so and so, and then somebody else beat them, so that means Team A would beat Team C, and it just doesn't work like that. I think it did years ago, but the competition and the margin of error is really small. And, if we played any of those 5 games we played this year, if we played them again, we'd had a totally different outcome, one way or the other. Either the game was close, it wasn't as close. And so it's very important that we play with a consistency every week like we're playing in the Super Bowl, to be 1-0 for that week. Like we do for Gilmer, like Gilmer probably does for us. If you could get that same intensity and that same excitement and toughness out of your players, it's understood that people in the community might not think every game's equally important. But if the players and the coaches can come out with an equal level of intensity all 10 of these games, then you got a chance. And Southeast is a great example of a team that is very good and definitely good enough to beat us and definitely good enough to give us more than we want in a lot of different areas. They got some really good players. But I worry that we're sometimes not able to come out and be consistent and do it every drive, offense, defense, all 6 special teams. And it already has come back to guidance. We've lost 3 games. We can't afford to do it in this region play or, lose one of these games that counts.
Well, they coming off a loss to Heritage 47-10, and looking at that game, they have their struggles of getting on the board. But all year long up to this point, every time we've talked, this one quarter and the game's a different result. This one play, the game's a different result. And now that you're getting into the meat of the region, a solid game. And are you talking to are you guys talking to the players like that?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Guys, we can't go on Friday and say one play or one quarter and we got a different outcome.
Yeah, no player or coach would purposely, mess a play up. But it's a different one of them every play. We got 11 positions out there. And then sometimes, Friday night we missed a few 4th downs. We had the ball in the red zone, I think 6 times out of 9 possessions. And scored really 3 touchdowns. We scored 4 touchdowns on offense, but one of them was from the 1-yard line. We got stopped a few times on 4th down. We threw an interception. We fumbled. We did some dumb things. And a couple of them were players not executing, and it was maybe just one of them. Maybe 10 guys did beautiful, and one didn't do a good job. And then a couple of those times it was just bad coaching. I didn't do a good job calling the right play at the right set, and it was my fault. So, all of us got to just be ready to improve and do it.
Cut that segment, that little section right there.
Look, that's not the first time I would take the blame. I'm not like some of these.
Cut that little segment right there. RJ, let's turn it over to RJ. RJ, we don't have a lot of time. Let's turn it over to RJ.
Come on, RJ.
Coach will
it's
filibuster.
7-17 and he ain't even said anything.
Come on.
Hey, RJ, my daughter's watching, so hey, Ellie. You got to have a good question today, okay?
Going back to the Gilmer game for a second, you had briefly mentioned that you threw for 181 yards last game. You had 3 receivers with 50 or more. Talk about the receiving game and the receivers.
Well, we're able to, there's a lot of young kids out there. We're playing a lot of young guys and the skill players. The line's a lot of seniors, and the skill players a lot of young guys. And so, but they're talented. And Goss and Hawkins, Stryker, and then, of course, we got Pittman and Huffman. Those guys run the ball. All skilled guys, and outside of Pittman, all, coming back. So it's good to have some talented players, and it's good to give them the ball. And, of course, what teams will do on us, we do run the ball a lot. Brian's not the only guy that's figured that out. And so there's some opportunities to throw the ball down the field. And then Jacob, did a good job of finding some guys. And, of course, we caught the ball. We had the pass pro. Pass pro was really good Friday. And it's hard to throw the ball in high school football. And like I know Fannin and Union and some of these teams you guys cover up here are really good throwing the ball. And they deserve a lot of credit for that because in high school football, you got to pass block, you got to throw it, and you got to catch it. And it only takes one of those people not doing their job, whereas sometimes when you hand it off to Shannon Brooks, you just get out of the way and he scores. So it was really a team effort to get to throw the ball. But if we want to win, we're going to throw the ball better. So I was proud to see. I'm joking earlier about it, but
no.
I was
But
happy
what I do, I want to piggyback on what you're saying because looking here, you did go to 5 different people, and that is a plus. Although you have 181 yards, you went to. There was only 1 reception and 1 guy for 2 yards, but still, 5 different receivers touched the ball. Zach Gross, 54 yards. Trevor Hawkins, 55 yards. Stryker, 20 yards. and Dylan Huffman 50 yards. So if you can get the ball out to 4 and 5 different guys and spread it out, that is a positive.
And it should be able to help you run the ball, and it should
absolutely
make you more balanced.
should open up and let you get.
Our biggest issue has not been moving the ball. We've only punted like 8 times all year in 5 games, which is unbelievable for a team that's lost 3 games. But we've got to do better at finishing these drives, winning these 4th downs.
Ask these guys here on the end of the question there, RJ, before we go to our break.
Was for all the offensive linemen and the lineman coach. What have you seen from Southeast Whitfield's defense and what they're going to bring on Friday?
Well, they're a very good team. They're very good, well coached defensively. They play with very good technique. They've got 2 or 3 really good defensive linemen. We've got 2 inside linebackers that run the ball very well. And once again, you know, they do a good job defensively. We've got a very big challenge ahead of us.
Yeah, the big number 77 is going to be a problem.
He's a good player.
You guys follow that up before we go to commercial. What are you seeing on their defense as far as having to bring it to them just like this past game?
You know, it's kind of just like what he said. They've got some good players, but the way I say it, if you don't come out swinging, you know, you got to be the hammer, not the nail. You know, and I think the harder that we hit them every play, the easier it'll go. After the game goes on.
Yeah. All throughout the year, the coaches are telling us, you know, in the region play to, you know, keep fighting and make the other team quit, and you know that's going to stick with us. You know, they're thick and thin, and that's going to help us in the region play.
We got to take a break on BKP. You're watching Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk from Schottenkirk Ford, FYNTV.com. FYNTV.com. Tell your friends. We'll be back after these messages. I think she's gone home.
Don't say anything.
Better days ahead.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweeten the deal with a Hershey's Triple Chocolate Brownie for just $5.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk on FYNTV.com. I'm here with my co-host, RJ Casey. We got a couple minutes left in this week's show. Don't forget, we want to thank Johnny's New York Style Pizza. And yes, that is a Shelby GT 350 Limited right behind me. Stay out of that, RJ. There's a reason they got a chain link fence around it. Keep you out of there.
I can hop over that.
Can you hop over that? Coach, let's wrap up with talking about Southeast Whitfield this coming Friday night. It is homecoming for the Dragons. It's homecoming this Friday night. You're at home.
The first time they've been at home in over a month.
Over a month?
Yeah, September 2nd was their last home game.
September 2nd? You just keep those stats? How you know all that stuff, but then every time I ask you to ask him a question, you just softball it, man.
I looked at it this morning.
Yeah, we got RJ on the payroll.
Huh?
He knows better than I.
Just softball it. Coach, Southeast Whitfield, we wish you well this Friday night, but we've talked about it. What kind of team are you going up against? What are you seeing? What kind of offense do they run, defense do they run?
Yeah, it's a spread team, but two backs, tight ends, so a little more physical than more traditional shotgun teams, kind of like we are, a lot like us actually. And they got really 3 or 4 really good running backs, all play defense. They played a couple different quarterbacks that play defense. I mean, they play some guys both ways. But the D-line especially, I thought, was really probably the best part of the team. They're listening. I don't know if that is disrespectful to any group or not. But when we watched the film, I thought the defensive line was really good. Linebackers are pretty good. You know, they run the ball hard, play well up front. You know, it's going to be a tough game. Sometimes, like I said, a matchup is different. You know, like we may play a team and beat them by 30 or 40 points that another team would lose to, that team might then beat us. You know what I mean? So I think it's hard to look at scores and say off of what they did or didn't do in previous games. They're going to be a physical team, very similar maybe to how Gilmer is and how we try to be, where, you know, they're going to be tough and try to get after you. And, you know, the guy's been there now a while. We've played against the same coaching staff, you know, for a few years now, so we kind of know each other. And, yeah, it should be a good game. Homecoming, you know, be a distraction for us probably, but no excuses. We got to go out and just play.
Coach, let me ask you a question, Coach Maxwell. You guys probably have one of the best preseason strength and conditioning programs around. You really do. Are you seeing that, when I always say pay off, especially this year, knowing the kind of tough schedule that you're up against? Are you seeing all that preseason work pay off?
One thing at Pickens, we do work our kids really hard. And Coach Warden and Coach Nelson, you know, I'm new here this year and coming in, and they do a phenomenal job in the weight room as far as not only preparing our kids to be in shape to play on Friday night, but we get stronger as the year progresses. Our guys are still getting stronger right now. And, you know, we don't have a lot of big guys on our team, but we got a lot of guys that have some heavy numbers despite their size. So those guys do a great job in the weight room, and our kids really buy into the weight room too.
You guys see that strength and conditioning, that preseason strength and conditioning pay off at this? I mean, you guys got 6 straight games in a row in the region. How is that paying off for you? And what happens during a week in a game that you say, wow, this would not be possible if we wouldn't have worked like this back then?
They always push us, you know, trying to make us the best we can be. And, you know, Coach always on my button every time, trying to push us to get better and everything. It's really helpful. You know,
Coach doesn't come off the pedal. What about you, young man?
He meant Coach Maxwell. I'm the nice one.
No, I understood that, Coach. We didn't throw you out there. We knew which one wasn't coming off the pedal. Coach Maxwell.
It's like Coach Parker said. It's like running a marathon. If we had not conditioned as well and had to start sputtering at the start of it, the year, then we wouldn't be at the point where we are now, conditioning-wise, because we're still getting better every day, every week.
Coach Parker, we wish you well Friday night. You got a homecoming. It's good to get the rivalry out of the way. Distractions, you know, we love homecoming, but we need these 2 games.
Yeah, I remember the winning and losing a lot more than I remember the homecoming. So
exactly.
I'm hoping we can come out on top, be 2-0 in the region, but it's going to be a challenge, you know, and these guys, but I'll tell you what, I'm proud of these guys. I'm glad we're getting to show some of them tonight. We got some good boys on the team working hard. They really are. It's a total team effort to even have a football team nowadays, and that's why I showed, and I purposely went out this morning and said about Casey, Wingard, and how good he's doing over there, because it's hard to put everything together and get organized, have a plan, go out and battle on Friday against other guys who are doing the same thing. And so, we're excited about it. It's going to be a challenge on Friday. And these next 5 Fridays, it's going to be a challenge.
Well, it's a football program.
Yeah.
And it program's over a period of time. Got any parting words for our viewers out there about the Dragons Friday night?
They're going up against a tough team. Gonna need Dragon Nation to come out strong like they did last Friday.
RJ said you got to bring Dragon Nation out strong. Let me just real quick here. Quad A, Region 6, Pickens is 1-0. Heritage is 2-0. Ridgeland is 1-0. Northwest Whitfield is 1-1. Southeast Whitfield is 1-1. Lafayette is 0-2. And Gilmer is 0-2. And don't forget, this Friday night, come out homecoming, support the Pickens Dragons. They're at home. Game time against Southeast Whitfield, 7:30. I'm your host, BKP. You've been watching Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk from Schottenkirk Ford. Again, thank you, Johnny's New York Style Pizza. And don't forget, every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., Good Morning from the Office with BKP. You never know. I talk about a little bit of everything. Click on FYN TV, 8 a.m. I'll see you then. You ready? Get us out of here, Cole. Get me away from this Ford back here, this Mustang. Makes me nervous back there.